So you spent 3 hours building what you thought was the Mona Lisa of emails. The copy, witty. The design, very sexy. The subject line, you even used an emoji. You then scheduled it for optimal send-in time, whatever that means, and hit send. Next day, you check your Klaviyo stats expecting fireworks, and what do you get? $18.47. And that was a sale from your mom. Seriously though, most emails flop not because they are ugly or poorly written. It's because they are the wrong type of emails. After sending thousands of emails that generated well over 8 figures in extra revenue for our clients, we've identified the 15 emails that consistently outperform everything else across industry, across product, across season. And you're about to get the full list with real examples that you can steal. So who am I? My name is Hussam and I've been in digital marketing for 15 years, in Ecom for over a decade. I've generated well over 8 figures in extra revenue for our Ecom clients. I've also spent millions on paid media, and I've had my own stores in the past as well, one which I was able to scale from 0 all the way to 7 figures in less than 16 months with a very, very minimal budget. And I'm also the founder of Power My Marketing, which is a full scale email and SMS retention agency. And we like to work with ambitious Ecom brands and help them scale profitably using email and SMS. So here are some email examples that we have sent for our clients. So you can see the first one has generated $43,000, second one $12,000, $24,000, $3,000, $29,000. And these are some of the best email campaigns that we have sent, but generally speaking, our email campaigns generate between 4 to 5 figures in revenue each, depending on the brand size, obviously, and the list size as well. So the first email type that is the most effective, or one of the most effective, is the sales promos. And generally speaking, we like to limit the amount of promos we do for our clients because I believe that they devalue the brand long term, and it's a good short-term strategy, but a lot of the brands that rely heavily on discounting on the short term, they will just ruin their brand long term because most people or most of their subscribers are now expecting a sale before they purchase. So this is not a great strategy unless you do it sparingly. And mostly speaking, we do it on themed holidays. For example, like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, St. Patrick's Day, etc., because the majority of the brands, they actually do a promo. And yeah, it depends on your brand as well. So some brands, for example, they do not offer any promos at all, but the majority of the brands that we work with, they typically offer some sort of sales during these holidays. Or you can do it something like, for example, a weekend sale, a flash sale, or something like that. And I included some examples from popular brands here for inspo. And I'm gonna also include a link in the description with a free 50+ page masterclass on how to create emails that sell. And this will have everything I know about creating high converting Ecom emails that generate 4 to 5+ figures in revenue. So this is the first email type. The second email type is going to be social proof. And we use some sort of social proof in, I would say, 80+% of the emails that we send. And this could be customer reviews, it could be magazine features, collabs, endorsement, etc. And the social proof is very, very effective. And I included a few examples here just so you can get an idea. The third one is going to be value educational emails. As I mentioned before, we just send promo emails sparingly, and the majority of the time we're just nurturing people, offering a ton of value, trying to talk about our mission, vision, unique selling propositions, highlight the social proof, etc. And these value educational emails, they work incredibly well. And I included a few examples here as well, so you can get some inspiration from these brands. And then there is the product highlight or education. So this is for a specific product. If you would like to, for example, highlight a particular product, talk about some of the unique selling propositions and highlight some reviews you got for that product, maybe it's a bestseller or maybe it's not a very bestseller because people need to know a little bit more about it, then this is the perfect type of email that you can send. And as I put here, we typically send 2 to 3 emails like this a month. And yeah, here are some examples I included as well. The one on the right here is for a client of ours that's called Flings. They sell toaster pastries. So the fifth example is product guides, how to use them, how to find the perfect product, etc. So this is more on the educational side as well, especially if you sell a bit of like complex products, or maybe you have a lot of products that are a little bit similar. It's very, very crucial to educate customers so they know exactly which product is the perfect fit for them. And this is actually one of the biggest objections that we see when people, for example, want to buy a product, maybe they add to cart and then abandon because they are not sure if that product is a perfect fit for them. And And these types of emails work incredibly well in converting those either on the fence people or maybe undecided people or uneducated people about your products, and just offer them some value, educate them about your product so they can make the right decision. And I also included a few examples here that you can take inspiration from. So the sixth type is the guides, blog post, or how to. So if you are creating content on your website, whether it's blog posts, guides, videos, podcasts, etc., then this would be the perfect email type to promote those. So to basically send traffic from your email to those blog posts, and then people land on your website. Maybe they see some links to your products and go place an order. One suggestion I have is to not have your entire content in the blog post. So I included some examples here from other brands, but you can see here on the left side, there is this email that is a little bit text heavy. So it's good because they are linking to their website, but it's still a little bit text heavy. So what we like to do is just tease the piece of content, whether it's blog post or video or something like that, and then basically let the website do the sales. So we send them to the website and then show the whole maybe blog post or content on the website. And we tested this heavily in the past. I remember with one client, they used to put all of these blog posts in the email, and then people maybe open the email and they get bored in the middle because people have very short attention spans, and then they abandon and they don't click on the email at all. So they basically lost the sale because people are not going to buy on the email, they're going to buy on the website. So we need to send them to the website as soon as possible. And we made some few changes. We used a little bit of curiosity to hook people, to get them curious about reading the full content from the email, so they can click on the email and land on the website. The website is where they're gonna place an order. And just by doing that, we were able to 10x the amount of clicks they were getting from these types of emails. So yeah, this is very, very important. And another reason not to have very long emails is because they get truncated on some email apps like Gmail, for example. If you have super long email, when people view it on their mobile phone, let's say on the Gmail app, it will get cut so that people will not see the entire email. So we try to have maybe 2 sections, 3 sections max if the product or if the email needs a little bit of elaboration. But yeah, generally speaking, we like to keep it brief, tease whatever we're talking about, and then send people to the website to find out more. So this is the 6th type. The 7th type is going to be solving a problem or addressing a pain point. And this will depend on your brand, of course. If you have a fashion brand, then this would not apply to you. But generally speaking, for brands that sell a product that either solve a pain point or solve a problem, this is very, very important. So a great framework that I like to use for these emails is the BAB. So this is the before and after bridge. So we highlight the before, life before your product, and then you highlight life after your product, how the transformation happened and how the role that your product has played, and then you bridge them together with the call to action. So this copywriting framework works incredibly well. So another copywriting framework that we use for this type of email is called the PAS, so problem, agitate, solution. What you do is to talk about the problem first, and then you agitate it a little bit. So some marketers like to call it like twisting the knife a little bit. I know it doesn't sound very nice, but yeah, just try to agitate, expand a little bit on the problem to make people basically imagine it because they are experiencing that particular problem. And then you can present solution, which is your product in this case. And I also included another link in the description of another in-depth guide, which is called The Anatomy of the Perfect Ecom Email. And this guide also has everything I know on how to create the perfect e-commerce email. This includes the most effective copywriting frameworks, and then design, basically tone of voice, branding guidelines, etc. So you can click on the link in the description to get it for free. And I included some examples for this type of email as well. And then the 8th type of email is brand USP, us versus them. So this is a type of email that we typically have early on in our flows. Let's say someone opted in to our list, and then we have the welcome flow. So maybe if we are given a discount, the first email is going to be given the discount. The second email would be this type of email, and it works as a campaign as well. So what we like to do is to highlight either the brand, the USPs, like unique selling propositions of the brand or of our particular product, or we highlight how are we different from the competitors. So do like a us versus them comparison, as you can see in this brand in the middle here. And those work incredibly well because generally speaking, when people find your brand, they are most likely looking at other brands to see if their products are better, and they are doing a lot of this comparison shopping, and it would make perfect sense for you to highlight why your product is superior. So this is the 8th type. So the 9th type is going to be a product or collection launch. So this is if you launch products regularly, or if you launch maybe a new collection regularly. We have some brands that launch new collections on a weekly basis. So this would work incredibly well because it has that novelty aspect. And we have a strategy on how to launch a product, and you will find all of it outlined in the guide that I included below. So we have 3 phases basically for either product launch, especially if it's a big one. We do like the pre-launch, which is the teaser, try to build hype, and then we have the launch, and then we have the post-launch as well. So yeah, this is very, very important to maximize the revenue you get from each product launch that you do, especially if you're launching products sparingly, not like you're doing it on a frequent basis. So the 10th type is the bestseller email. And this is a type of email that we like to send maybe at least once a month. And we do this month's bestsellers or maybe last month's bestsellers and highlight the top 3, top 5 bestsellers. And what we do, we highlight the bestseller and then maybe highlight some sort of social proof like a review, and then some of the unique selling propositions of that bestseller. So yeah, it's very, very important because it's similar to social proof. So when people see that these products are selling very well, then they are more likely to place an order as well. You can see on the right here is an email example where they have some bestseller and then they have the, let's say, highlight one of the best reviews for that particular product. And these work incredibly well, and you can do them on a monthly basis. So the 11th one is going to be a back in stock email. And generally speaking, we have an automated back in stock flow. And I will include a link to a video I recorded recently about how to set up this flow. It's very important to have that flow. But on top of it, you can also send a back in stock email campaign as well. So the flow is only going to be targeting people who joined maybe the back in stock list. Let's say people who saw that the product is out of stock, then they clicked, they joined the list, so they get notified. So those people will be targeted by the back in stock flow. However, there are a lot of people who maybe are interested somehow in your product, but they don't, or they won't enter their email to join the waitlist. So this email campaign type works incredibly well, especially, I mean, since it's out of stock, it's probably one of your best sellers. And yeah, if you send a back in stock flow, it will perform incredibly well. So this is very, very important. And it included some examples from popular brands, so we can see here as well. Then another one is low stock. And I don't see this type of email being sent very often. Again, you can have it as a flow as well. So when your stock levels reach a particular point, then a flow triggers. They say, hey, a product that you were eyeing or maybe you were interested in is very low in stock. We have only a few units left. And this triggers based if someone maybe viewed that particular product or maybe added it to cart. And then you can select how many units. For example, if it gets below 5 units, then this flow triggers. You can do it with email or SMS. And yeah, it works incredibly well because it has that scarcity aspect. Basically, a few units left, and if we sell out, maybe we're not going to be restocking for a while. So that's the flow. But then we also can send an email, especially for some of the popular products. If it's low stock, we say, hey, we have only a few units left, so make sure to get yours before we sell out. We won't be able to restock for quite a bit of time or something like that. It really depends on your brand. And I included some examples here, including from one of my favorite brands here that's called Magic Spoon. Super, super cool brand and the email program as well. So another type is the fun, engaging type of emails. And these are actually, I would say, if I had to choose, these would be my top 3, just because people are very bombarded by, let's say, negativity these days on social media. And it's always good to receive an email that's a little bit lighthearted, maybe even funny, entertaining, etc. So we like to focus on, in terms of the content that we create, we have 4 E's, and one of them is entertaining. Another one is could be educational or empowering, but one of them is entertaining. And we use some sort of humor in a lot of the emails that we send, even for serious brands. So if your brand sells maybe industrial products or pharmaceutical products or something like that, you can still get away with a little bit of humor. Obviously, you have to pay attention to your branding guidelines and tone of voice, but these work incredibly well. If you can make people smile or laugh, then you are more likely to persuade them to place an order with you. So these are very, very important. And one of my favorite brands that does this is Grasa. So they sell olive oil, and they have a lot of these super fun emails. You can see one in the middle here that's very, very cool. And then you can see one from Dr. Squatch as well. And they have really, really good emails that you can check out if you're looking for inspiration. So another type is going to going to be collabs. So these are basically if you have collabs, whether it's with other brands, maybe you're doing like a giveaway, or maybe collabs with some big influencer in your space or small influencer, or yeah, you're collaborating with anyone. And these are very, very important to announce. So my philosophy is that any excuse you can find to send an email, as long as it's a good excuse, not just like sending emails for the sake of sending emails, is good, because it just keeps your brand top of mind and yeah, keeps people engaged with your brand, especially these types of announcement emails. And you can see, for example, there's Magic Spoon here. When they partnered with Banza, they had this email launch, and on the right here is one of our clients, Flings. So when they did like a giveaway with other brands, partnered with other brands, we sent this email for them on the right here. So the 15th one is the urgency type of email. And urgency is one of the most effective psychological triggers that you can use in your emails to generate more revenue. And it's all based on FOMO, basically fear of missing out. People do not like to miss out on deals, for example. And this is all from Dr. Robert Cialdini's work, which if you'd like to check out his book, it's called Influence. I'm also going to include a link to a video I recorded about his book, Influence, and the 7 psychological triggers that we use on our emails to make them convert better. So just for clarification purposes, scarcity is a measure of a unit or a quantity. So basically when you're saying we have only 200 units left, or we only made 10 units or something like that. So that's scarcity. But urgency is a function of time, which means you can use something like this sale ends tonight, or this promo ends tonight, or this giveaway ends on Sunday at midnight, or something like that. So those work incredibly well. Again, I included another example from Magic Spoon. We're saying going, gone. So a little bit of scarcity encourages people to take action. And these emails, they work incredibly well. So whenever you have a launch, maybe a promo, or even in your flows, if you have, let's say you offer people 10% off or 15% off or something like that, it's good after a few days to follow up with them and say, hey, the offer is expiring. So make sure to place an order before the offer expires tonight. This is very, very effective. So there you have it. If you'd like to generate more revenue from email and SMS, I'm happy to offer you a free in-depth audit of your program. So I'm going to show you exactly what's missing in your account, what could be improved, and how much more revenue you'll be able to generate when all of the improvements are implemented. And generally speaking, our clients generate between 35 to 50% of their total revenue from email SMS. So if you're interested, just click on the last link in the description. As you can see here, we helped Hostery go from 12% to 40% of attributed email and SMS revenue. We helped Kingsman Premium stay consistently over 40% of attribution, and we peaked at 53. And we also helped Fluoro Store increase their email revenue by 7x. And we have more examples. You can watch the video reviews on our website at powermymarketing.com. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I also included all the links to the free guide I mentioned in this video in the description below. So yeah, see you in the next video.